So yeah, we got 2 days. Today's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 days left before I gotta take this up on a 9-hour drive. So wish me luck. Luck I indeed needed. Early that next morning, I pulled out of my driveway and drove all the way to about Green Bay, where I broke down with rod knock. I ended up having to ditch the Raider in a church parking lot. About 4 weeks go by, and I end up buying another Raider for the engine. A nice man brought that Raider to his place and brought my Raider to his place and pulled both the engines out for me, while me and my friend drove down from college down to Green Bay and helped put together one good engine out of the two, which we dubbed Rosie. For the rest of the day, we spent the time putting the engine into the Raider and putting in oil, coolant, hooking this hose, hooking that hose up.
Try to clutch on there at all?
I just pushed it in, it felt good.
Did it?
Yeah.
Hey, that one light's working now.
So we finally got the Raider started, and we decided to drive back up to our college that night. So we hit the freeway and we drove on for the next 4 hours, except we couldn't make it because we were getting so tired. So we decided to stop at a roadside park and sleep for the night. And that was a very cold night, I'll tell you.
Dude, I can't wait to get driving. And I just blast the heat.
I don't know how I fell asleep. I fell asleep in some position. And I woke up and I don't know why, but both my hands were numb. Like I cut blood circulation off to them. Somehow. I woke up, I'm like, why are my hands numb? I've never had numb hands. Oh, but the story doesn't stop here. With every unique car, there's a unique story. About a week after I got it back to college, I blew the head gasket and overheated the engine. I spent the next month taking the engine down to the block, putting on a new head, and rebuilding the camshaft, the lifters, checking clearance, doing this and that, and running into this trouble and that trouble. It was just a pain in the butt, and it was a real test of my will to keep this car going. I've been working on this car for weeks on weeks on weeks, and we're finally getting to the point to start it. I'm going to clean the valve covers, make it look clean, try to clean up the engine bay. First we got to get this car started, but it was looking pretty sad at one point. So really quick, I just want to fill you in on the point where I finished the car and to where we are now in current time. I ended up driving the car back to downstate where I live, just to find out that when I overheated the engine, I also cracked the block and I'm leaking coolant out of the passenger side of the engine. We tried to fix it, but you really can't, and it ended up leaking again. So at this point, I'm really frustrated and also lost for words because I don't know what to do anymore. I put another engine in the car. I spent so much money on the labor and the parts and the time, and now I have this bad engine in my car again that needs to come out, and I'm way over my head in how much I've spent in time and money in this car. And at this point, I just want to get rid of my problem. And there's something inside that wants me to continue working on the car and continue the story, because throughout this whole time I've met so many great people, and so many people have helped me, and I've made so many great friends, and there's been a lot of stories around this car. But with that said, let's get to some work being done. I'm going to install my stereo and put in the off-road lights. Well, we got the Raider in for the first time ever in a garage, and we are going to be installing these lights that I just bought, and we're going to see how they turn out. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with their build quality. You got the glass lens. I was surprised by that. Got a metal back. The only thing that's plastic is this. The wiring is pretty decent. You got the relay and the fuse, but let's get right to it. Alright, so I got the brackets put on. I'm gonna admit the first clip you saw, I put it on backward, but I got them on right now on both sides. We got the wiring here, and overall I'm just pretty impressed by these. They're not very bright. I'm gonna show you in the dark, but the back of these are made out of metal, and this is real glass. It's not plastic. So they're pretty decent quality. You got rubber down here for the mounts, and it helps keep vibrations down. The kit comes with a relay and a switch, and for 39 bucks, not disappointed at all. Alright, my battery's about to die. We got them wired in. Let's check and see if they work.